Hi everybody, welcome to our Sunday night kirtan, our Sunday chanting session. Just got a few friends with us as usual, and I'm just going to kick off with some yoga chanting, Gopala, Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, and of course these are transcendental sound vibrations, or even more specifically, the names of the Supreme Soul. And this is a very easy form of meditation. Simply focus on these mantras, and they have a purifying effect on the heart and the mind, and make it so that we can not only have, some relative peace and, stressless time, but they, more than that, much more profoundly than that, they actually help us tune into our spiritual nature and our natural relationship with God. So these particular names of the Supreme are usually pretty well known to a lot of people. So I'll just start off and we'll see how we go. Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala, Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Dana Mohana, Gopala, Madana Mohana. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so we're just going to go straight to our little talk on yoga teachings, yoga philosophy, just for a few minutes. And just to always try and put this chanting, especially for people who haven't done this chanting before out there, anybody who might be, catching our stream, just to give a little bit of context to this meditation. So there's two things that we always talk about in yoga philosophy, and two aspects of reality, put it that way. There's two aspects of reality, and this is because there's two kinds of reality. There's material reality and there's spiritual reality. And if you ever read texts like the Bhagavad Gita or any other yoga text, they're always going back and forth between these two aspects of reality, the temporary material reality and also the permanent spiritual reality. And of course, if when you consider these two realities and understand them in that way, that one is temporary, obviously, self-evidently, the material reality is temporary, and then we may hear about through one spiritual text or another, we get to hear about the permanent spiritual reality, then naturally it follows our course, or our the way we direct our lives should become very clear. There's no real choice in the matter once we understand the nature of these two realities. So this is, in general terms, this is what we're always every talk about yoga philosophy is basically discussing these two things. And like I'm saying in the yoga text, like the Bhagavad Gita, always a little bit of both. You find discussion on the temporary reality and the permanent spiritual reality. And, it's come up a little bit because the other day, some of you would know, we had this little rumble in Melbourne where we're broadcasting from, this earthquake. And it wasn't a big one, not like in some places where, but it was enough to shake everybody a little bit and realise that things aren't as stable as what we might like to think they are. So it's just a little reminder of, the impermanence and the turbulent nature of the material reality, how it's always changing. We think we're on solid ground, I'm young and I'm pretty and I've got my job and I've got this and I've got that and my life's perfect. And all of a sudden, the ground starts shaking under your feet. Start getting older, not so pretty anymore. Oh, I lost my perfect partner, or this or that. It happens to everybody. We talk about it a lot. But, it's just a reminder the other day, that this is the nature of the material situation. And so then when we hear about the permanent nature of the spiritual situation, we can immediately, if we have, it's said that the wise person, intelligent person, will immediately make inquiries and try and understand this higher spiritual nature. So along with this, and the other point I wanted to make is that we spoke a little bit a few weeks ago on, sometimes when, could be a person like myself or anyone else who's trying to pass on spiritual knowledge. Sometimes we, it's done in a very fanatical, pushy way. And, anybody that's been on the receiving end of that, knows it doesn't matter. It can be a Christian or a Hari Christian or a Muslim or whatever. Sometimes people can get a little bit, a little bit too pushy and fanatical and, trying to force this onto an unwilling person. So hopefully we don't do that. We should, if any of us are in that position, we shouldn't be like that. Obviously, we respect the freedom of everybody. And in the closing chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna points this out. He says, I'm giving you all this information now. It's up to you to choose what you want to do with it. So we have that, and we're aware of that. But, of course, it doesn't mean that, sometimes people feel that, I don't want to be too pushy, I don't want to be fanatical. So they don't actually do anything. They don't even want to try and speak. So we should not go to the other extreme. We don't want to be fanatical, but we don't want to go to the other extreme and not want to pass on this knowledge that we have either. We want to try and find the middle ground, so to speak. We want to try and, pass on knowledge without being too pushy about it. So in all our programs here, that's our approach. That's what we try and do. it's very natural that we will try, and this, for anybody out there who's listening to this, who's, done some chanting for some time and has understood, especially people who've understood the significance of it, and, it's very natural that you'll want to try to, pass it on to others. But it should be done. There's a couple of, but in this passing on again, we don't want to be fanatic. Just a few little tips, if we may, to try and help people fine-tune their attempts to pass on this knowledge. One, we don't want to be fanatical, right? And the other thing we want to try and avoid too is to, just speak because we like to hear the sound of our own voice, and we like to, get up there and, be the centre of attention kind of thing. We don't want to do that either. So we have to, I remember once my teacher, mentioned the correct attitude. It's based on, we should speak based on compassion. And compassion is the correct attitude to have. We should be thinking, it may seem, gee, this is very condescending. You're going to be compassionate to people, are you? Well, it's not really condescending, not if you understand the situation. If we understand the impermanence, again, self-evident impermanent nature of material life, and we understand or have faith in the permanence of spiritual life, our spiritual relationship with the Supreme, then it's not condescending to try to pass that on. It's very natural that you want to pass this knowledge on to your friend who may not know it, or, your family who may not know it, in that genuinely caring way. There was a saying, I'll just finish off with this wonderful little anecdote of one of our teachers in our disciplic succession, which I always remember. He was saying, this person was from India, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and he basically was just saying that, if you see somebody about to walk over the edge of a cliff, then, he said, a gentleman, speaking in that kind of British Indian way, a gentleman will not stay silent. He will try to say something to prevent that calamity. So from the yoga point of view, a person who's immersed in material life, it's seen as a type of calamity, because you're sitting there and the earthquake's happening and you don't know that, you're unaware that, all you have to do is reach up and hold on to this very wonderful process of meditation, and you're no longer affected by the temporary nature of material life. So, again, it's not condescending, please, anybody tuning in, please don't see this as condescending. It's simply an understanding of the reality, and so this is why people like myself and other people here at our centre, we try to, have our meditation programs and our, try and speak a little bit about, yoga knowledge and how very wonderful it is. Okay, so I'll leave it at that, and we'll just, I'm going to do another chant, and then one of our friends, Rasalila Dasi, is going to come on and chant a little bit, and then after her, Rupa Das is going to come on. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Namaste, everybody. So Russell is coming on to lead for a little bit. Thank you.
Namaste, everybody.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks everyone for joining in. Namaste. And welcome to Rupadas.
Hari Bol and Namaste. Excuse me a moment while I tune this guitar. It'll take me a while, so you can make a cup of tea if you want. All right, now good enough. Okay. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana.
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo,
Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo.
Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo.
Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo.
Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo,
Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur,
Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo,
Haribo Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Haribo.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hari Rama 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 Hari Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
All right. Anyone want to fill in for another 15 minutes? All right. Okay, so just going to wrap up there. So, yeah, thank you very much for joining us. If you're not too familiar with this type of meditation, as you can see, it's very simple. We simply focus on the sound of the mantras, and in this case with kirtan, we do it in a group, and I have a limited number of friends here, and we kind of go back and forth. In this case, I was leading, and you could hear the response. And we also use instruments. Instruments are not necessary, but it kind of makes it fun because we all like music. So, yeah, anyway. We're on Sunday nights and Friday nights. And if you'd like to see a variety of kirtans, Australian School of Meditation and Yoga, or asmy.tv, you can find a bunch of types of kirtans with friends, and also yoga classes and stuff like that. And I know there's people joining from various parts of the world here. So yeah, it's great to have you all wherever you are. So thank you, and Hari Bol.
People.